Hello, Happy New Year, and how the hell are you? It is now officially 2021, and I thought I'd kick it off with this new YouTube channel of mine where I paint pictures. So let's get started. Alright, so if you want to paint along or do this one, you'll see the colors in the description. My brush is already kind of dirty because I already put the liquid white on there, and I think I'm going to start off with this yellow ochre for the sky. And I'm going to add a touch, just a touch of the red right here. Because I kind of want it orangey, but not too orangey. The red's kind of strong, so you only want a little bit of it. That's what you want to do. Just going to tap that in there. Okay, that should be enough. We'll see. So let's start off in the sky right here. This is the first video of this new YouTube channel, so thank you for watching and supporting. Alright. Usually when we start the sky, standard sky, you know, we start from the top and work our way down, but I'm going to have a multicolored sky today. When you have a multicolored sky, you want to put in the very light colors first, because the other ones can get overpowering. And you'll see what I mean when I add the other colors. Okay, I'm going to work myself up now. That's about good. Yeah, nice sunset. I'm also going to have, I think I'm going to have some water down here. So when we want the water to reflect to the sky, use the same colors. So, and notice how when I'm doing the sky, I'm going like this, like X strokes. But when you want to do water, it's just back and forth, just like that. That's all you got to do. It's also a good way to clean the excess paint off that brush. This is a 2-inch brush I'm using. It's the biggest brush you can use for this technique. You will use it a lot. And I love it because it gets a lot done at once. So, without cleaning the brush, because like I said, we don't really have to at this point, I'm going to go into Alizarin Crimson and put that right above that one. I'm not going to clean the brush because you'll see Crimson is very, very strong. It'll just simply overpower that yellow ochre without even bothering it. Okay, right there. Okay. Alizarin Crimson. I love this color. I love saying it too. Alizarin Crimson. Just the way it rolls off the tongue. Yeah. Okay. Just work up like that. And we'll get lighter and lighter as you go up the top because the paint's coming off, but that's alright. That is okay. Looks like sherbet ice cream, I think, right? Maybe I can bring that down just a little bit. Same dirty brush, maybe just a little bit more. And so if we're going to have crimson up in the sky, we're going to have it down in the water. Just back and forth. Back and forth. Let's go all the way down here. You have little sheens showing out through there. If they just happen, leave it. Makes it look like the light is reflecting. All right. Okay, now for the last color in the sky, I'm going to use Phthalo Blue. Because you have the crimson on there, it might come out a little bit purpley, and that's fine. That is totally fine. tap the brush into the palette like that. Make sure the paint really gets in there. Now, start from the very top. And be careful when you touch your crimson color, because the phthalo blue it's a very strong color. It'll overpower any color you already put on this canvas right here. So just be very careful. Don't want to kill those other two colors. Oh yeah. That looks good. I don't know, what do you think? Nice three-colored sky. Yeah, that worked out great. I think I'll bring this down a little bit just so it's not so symmetrical. Be careful. As you can see, it's already eating up into that Alizarin Crimson. You decide how far you want it to go down or how high you want it to stay up. Okay, we got some brush strokes, some streaks in there, but that's all right. You can take care of that in a second. Okay, now on the bottom. There we go. Nice. All right. Not bad if I say so myself. Okay. Now, just gonna tap my brush here. Get all excess paint off. And I might not even clean it totally. I might be able to get away with it. And I also have one more 2-inch brush. Helps to have multiple ones. This is clean and dry right here, so to get rid of those streaks, we're just gonna blend it. Blend our colors like that. Okay. Softly too, softly. Okay, down here a little bit too. Just a little bit. All right, now my favorite part. I have to mix up some color first. I'm gonna take Phthalo Blue, put it right here, I guess. Some Alizarin Crimson, a little bit more. Some Dyke Brown. Just get a dark color, nice dark color. Should look almost black. And you just pick it up, turn it over constantly. That's how you mix it up. Sometimes it's hard to see exactly what color you have. Maybe a little bit more brown. And with that being said, nice trick is you add a little white to that color, any dark color, to see what you have. Like this. Take a little white, put it right here, see what we have. Okay, I think that's good enough. But you know what? I'm gonna take a little bit of that color, make it light, because I'm gonna make some mountains here. I want one mountain a little bit further than the other, so I'll show you how to do that. This is our mountain, base mountain color, mixed with the white, which I might actually add a little bit more white. It's almost like a dark teal color. That's okay. I think I'll just use it anyway. Damn, I'm having trouble mixing for some reason. All right. Well, I think that's good enough. Pick it up one more time. Flatten it out. Okay. Now, cut off that roll of paint like this, right across. And this is what it should look like. Okay. Thin paint on the edge. Little thin roll. Okay. So anyways, I think I'll put the further mountain right about here. Okay. You just want to worry about working on the peaks of the mountain. Don't worry about what's happening on the bottom just yet. And even so, scrape off the color. We're just trying to kind of stain where these peaks are going to be. Just trying to stain the canvas. Let's get more. Little roll of paint. Okay. That's another peak right there. I'm just making it up as I go. I swear. Okay. Maybe it just goes off. It's right there. You always want to work what's further away and then towards what's closest to you. So that's why we're making this one first. Okay. I'll put the knife down for a second. That dirty brush we had before, I'm gonna just take and grab there. Spread that paint out. Let's do it again. Spread that paint out. Get that on the edge and there. Really hard too. Press that brush against the canvas. Okay, and we'll make one going this way. And like that, you kind of decide how these peaks are shaping up. You can kind of plan where your highlights and everything are going to be too. All right. Okay. I put some highlights on there. I'm going to start out with snow. Since it's a little further away, I'm going to dull the snow a little bit. So I'm going to do that by putting that white there, I guess. Adding just a touch of black, just a touch. When I said there will be the black color you'll have in this painting, it's only a tiny bit. You won't need much of that. Okay. And be careful adding that black to dull it because it's very, very strong. As a matter of fact, I'll just keep it like that. I won't over mix it. And watch. Cut off that little roll of paint. I'll show you once again. Just make sure. Little roll of paint. Same way. Same way. Okay. Now this part, if you are following along, I'll go into detail with it in another video. Very gentle touch. If you watch any of Bob's videos, he'll always talk about very gentle touch. Get another roll, cut it off. Once you get the hang of doing that, you will want to put a mountain in every one of your paintings, I promise you. So let's go up here now to this peak. There we go. Very very gentle. Literally, the only thing that should be touching that canvas is that roll of paint. All right, next peak. Right here. All right, and I think I'll keep going, You can hold the knife a little differently, and there you go. Drag that out. Oh, yeah. Nice. Perfect. A little bit more here. Literally do whatever you think looks nice. Whatever you think looks nice. Now, if you're following along, you don't even have to put a mountain in your photo. It's literally all up to you. When you do paintings like this, you're the one in charge. Now, you need just a tiny bit of color in between there for some shadows. So I'm gonna take a little bit more white. Dark it down again, just a tiny bit, and just a really tiny bit of the blue. I don't even think I could show you how little of blue I use, because that's how little you're going to use for the shadows. It's very strong. And remember, you can always add more. So always start off with less, and then add more. I'm not even sure if that's the color I want. Not really until I put it on there. Let's see. Okay, I think that'll do. Maybe just a tiny bit more blue. See? And even though I only added a tiny bit more, look how much bluer that is. It's crazy, huh? Oh man, can't believe Bob did these in only a half hour. It's crazy. There's our shadow over there in that peak. Nice. All right, perfect. Now, tell you what. One more. And then again. And then the mountain I'll have in front of this one, shadow color will be a little bit darker. Okay. And just bring this over a little bit. Okay, nice. Wipe the knife off. Okay, now let's go back to our darker mountain color because it's closer to us. And well, actually, before I do that, take a clean, dry brush. I'm going to tap the bottom here and make it look misty. And I'm not just tapping, I'm following the angles of the way the mountain is going down here. And since this one's coming down this way, go like that. looks like it's just misting away. Then very gently, just give it a lift. Actually, just even using the corner of the brush, not even the whole brush, just that corner there. Just a lift. And that's how you do a mountain. Now that you know how to do that, we're gonna put another one. Maybe, yeah, it's just coming right there. So flatten that out. Get that roll of paint, a little roll of paint, and let's do it again. Whoop. This one is just going to cover that one. There we go. Since this color is darker, you can go right over it. That'll be our one more peak. Right there. Just goes off like that. I'm just gonna spread this color down. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta do is worry about the top. That's all you have to do. With this technique, a lot of things happen really, really fast. So watch. Let's just that, and same as we did before. There we go. Because this mountain base color is darker, it's gonna look closer. So let's do it again. Start up here, take this one down. Nice. Okay. And push that brush into the canvas. I'll make us start going this way because we're getting to the left. I'm just going to start laying out where I want my highlights. Already you can see the shape, the anatomy of this mountain. Right? Okay. All right. Wait. Drag that out one more time. You can keep changing it at this point. At this point, you're not really, it's not permanent yet what's happening. So, it is highlight time. Yeah, let's have the highlights. So I'm gonna wipe off the knife again, hold on. Wipe off the knife a little better. Gonna drag out the white here, watch this. Drag out the white and maybe just a touch of the red. This is such a tiny touch, yeah, because it's so powerful. You really don't wanna overmix that. The red gives it this little pinkish hue because, you have color in the sky. You actually don't have to do that, but I am going to. So again, gentle touch. And Very slowly and softly. Very slowly and softly. Just follow that angle. Okay, cut across, and let's do it again. Yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Maybe just do one more. One more this way. Okay, now let's start up here. Let's lay this paint flat again. There we go. Okay. Cut across. Maybe more paint. This is a big mountain. Okay, start at the top. You might feel that paint sticking, and you know, that's what you want. Okay, let me just fix this. Okay, nice. Wipe that off. A lot of paint again. And let's go this way. Let's see what happens. Trying to get a lot done at once. Okay. Ooh, that broke a little too much, so I'm gonna go back and fix that, because you can fix it. Wow, this paint's very thick, which is good. That's what you want. I'm kind of just making this up as I go along. I don't even know what season this is supposed to be. I just know I wanted to paint a nice picture. Go. Okay, let's keep going. This mountain is huge. I might even need to add more white to my palette. I don't know yet. More down here. Let it go all the way down. Why not? It's really up to you. Let's keep going. We got more peaks to do. Wow. Really put myself to work today, huh? And I promise you, once you get highlights down, because it's one of those things that it's so easy, it's hard. You're not going to get it the first try, but you can't let that discourage you. All right. Drag out more paint, flatten it out just before we cut across. Maybe we will put just a little bit of highlight here. Just a little bit. Okay. All right, maybe that one's in the shadows. So it's time to make those shadows. Oh, let's just drag this down. This is a lot of paint, which is okay. It's okay if there's a lot of texture sticking out for these kinds of paintings. Might take a little bit longer to dry, but that's okay. And some people like that. Some people like a lot of texture to their paintings. Okay. Let's take some of that white. some of this blue we made here for shadow colors. And be careful with the blue you grab. Just a tiny bit more, because, like I said, blue is a very powerful color. Said that in the beginning of the video, so you got to be very careful with it. You might make it too blue, you might make it too dark. Unless that's what you want, but I'm just trying to be careful. Okay, now let's... Every peak needs its shadow to stick out. Maybe that just goes all the way down there. There we go. I just need to step back for a moment. It's important to always step back from your paintings. Paintings are actually meant to be seen from a certain distance, and when you're up close working on it, there might be something that you don't even realize that you don't like because you're so close to it. Okay. More paint. Flatten out. Cut across. If I get enough people asking me about how to do that, maybe I'll make a separate video. All right. Flatten it out. And goes like that. And you're holding the knife very gently too, just like this. Okay. Just gonna stand back again. Okay, yeah. So this peak is really back there, and the light is definitely coming like that. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So, wipe off the knife. Remember what we did before. Well, with the mostly dry brush, we're gonna tap, right? Yeah. Tap at the bottom. Tap at the bottom, following the angles, right? And you can tap pretty hard. Just gonna soften that bottom up. We're gonna follow those angles, because this mist at the bottom is gonna help separate everything. Okay, now just corner of the brush, and take your time with this. Take your time. Maybe I'm going to brush that out. Get off some excess paint off. Just lift, following the angles. Too much paint on the brush. But hey, that's how you learn. You learn from making those mistakes. And that's what makes them happy accidents. Try not to quote Bob too much. Try not to steal his style. sorry if it's not perfect because I think we're gonna add some trees here. Cover that up. Okay. To do that, we're gonna take this dark color here that we used. Spread it out again. Yep. Some white in there, but that's okay. Wipe that off. Because we're gonna add some green to it. Well, actually, maybe I'll have 2 different rows of trees. Actually, we'll see. So maybe instead, this ensures you won't waste any color. Get more white. More white. Yeah. This to be a very light color. Because if I have 2 rows of trees, one of them has to look lighter than the other, and that's the one that's further back. Okay. I think that's good. Make some pine trees that look really far back right there. And I'm going to use the fan brush to do that. Load the brush full of paint. I'm going to take it vertically like this, tab downward. Watch this. And it makes it look like a bunch of trees that are really far back. And it's not really a lot of detail here because it doesn't have to be, because that's how far they are. More. Just gonna fill in some spots. I keep forgetting we're gonna add another row, so. You don't want them all the same size either. That's one mistake I keep tending to forget to learn from. Okay, so nice row trees. Now we're going to add more right on the bottom of that. But let's make a little distinguishing color. Take a lot of sap green actually, a lot of sap green. Go right into that color. Maybe a little bit of that dark color we had before. That's a lot of paint. Yep, that is a lot of paint. Okay. Maybe a little brown just to darken it up. And I have a hard time cleaning this fan brush, let me tell you. This fan brush is a lot of paint. Not kidding. Drag that out a little. So every new year, people like trying, you know, hey, new year, new me. Oh, this is my new thing. My new YouTube channel that I thought would be nice to start. Because I started doing these paintings last year. And, you know, everyone's saying I should start one. So, and yeah, I know this looks messy at the bottom, but here's what we're going to do for that. Watch this. So if you learn anything or take anything away from what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to encourage you that, you know, you can do something that you never thought you could do, or get into something new. Now, let's make some reflections. And this is very easy. I promise you, this is one of the easiest things you'll do. Step one, take that clean, dry brush, right? Just tapping the crap out of it, making sure it's clean. Now, very gently, start picking out where that land and the river meet, or pond, or sea, whatever you want to refer to it. Just go down. And it doesn't have to be one even line. Just drag down very gently. And by not making it an even line, you can see some of the land just gets pushed back there. Some of it's coming out and some of it's, yeah. And now, whoop, make this little, okay. And now, with the same clean brush, we went down. Now we're going to go across very gently, Just going to get off the excess paint just to make sure, Because if I mess up really bad, I don't want it on video, especially as my first painting for the channel. You're going to go across now. And I promise you, that's as easy as it looks. And instantly, you have reflections. Right there. Right there. And to help distinguish that there's land and then there's water, watch what we're going to do. One second. I need to clean the knife off. Real good. Look at that. Boom. So at the end of this painting, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section, of course. I will try to answer them. So we're going to take a little bit of the liquid white. Just put that there. And you got to cut across just a little differently because you got to hold the knife a little bit differently. Just go like that. Yeah. And you won't even be able to see it, but I don't know, maybe you can. You should have it on the edge and the top right there. As long as, you know, it's not in focus. There we go. As long as you got this very thin white on there, you'll be fine. Okay, now just let's cut. It's like it is a knife, but trust me, it's not gonna cut the canvas. But you want to make it so as if you're trying to do that. Keep the lines straight. Keep the lines straight. Okay, see? There you go. Very small water lines. Yeah. Just back and forth. Back and forth. Maybe just a tiny bit here. There you go. Oh, perfect. And even in the water itself, make a few ripples like this. There you go. All right. Maybe there's one right here. Yeah, see? Now, what to start doing in the foreground? Well, first of all, I think I do want some trees. But which side do I want them on? You know what? I think right here, I have some trees. Mm-hmm. So 1 second. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of Phthalo Blue, more Sap Green, even use a little brown, why not? Just want a dark color right there. Start off by making your tree. Just make a line first, right there. That's where I know I want the tree to go down. So, with the corner of the brush, the corner of your fan brush, right there, that corner, that's all that's going to touch right now for the top. And you're just going to go back and forth, left to right, right to left. And as you go down, tree gets bigger, so you can add more pressure. When you start at the top, it's more of a light color. There's so much paint on this, I don't even need to go back for it. Wow. Yep, all right, okay. A little bit more paint. No. Okay. Let's make another one. Let's give them a twin. Right there. And so, corner of the brush, very lightly, left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left, you alternate. And as you get down more and more, still using the corner, but you just apply more pressure. Very long, narrow, skinny pine trees there. And I think I'll make a few more. I'll show you again. Maybe this one's a little smaller. And I will make one more, just one more. There we go. Now we need, we need something for these trees to stand on. So I think I'm just gonna have some very basic ground here. To do that, I need a lot of paint for this. Good thing we have it. take a 2-inch brush, try to pick up all that dark color we have. And now just because you have liquid white on there, color tends to get diluted. So you'll find a lot of times you'll just have to go back and pick it up. Because you use the 2-inch brush and the way the bristles work, looks like you got grass in there and everything, right? Okay. Now, what we're going to do is, why don't we add some highlights down here? Excuse me. We're going to do that by doing the same thing. We're going to tap, but I'm going to use slightly different color. So I'm going to go into some of the liquid white we had here to make those ripples. Go into the yellow right here. And since we already had blue on the brush, the yellow turns green because we want that a little bit brighter. A little bit more liquid white. Don't know if this is going to work. I might actually need to add more liquid white there. We'll see. And there we have some highlights here. And if we didn't add that dark color underneath it, you wouldn't really be able to see it. I'm going to go into some more of this liquid white. Just got to kind of thin it down a little bit. Another rule to remember with this technique is thin paint sticks to a thick paint. We already got the thick paint on there, so we got to thin this down a little bit. There we go. By mixing these colors on the bottom, you get all these different colors separating your planes right here. Cool. Now, speaking of highlights, we need some highlights on the trees, right? Might need a little bit more liquid white just to thin this down. So I'm going to put some right there. And with that color, that highlight color we already have, go into some liquid white. And more yellow. And we have that green. See? That light green. Now, same thing. You don't want to kill all the dark. but we established our light's coming from here, so the light will be on the right side of the trees. So just here and there, not the whole thing. And as you go down, that color should start disappearing because there's shadows down here. The light only picks up the top. So let's do it with this one. I haven't even cleaned any of the brushes yet. Wow. It's really only because I'm running out of thinner, or what I use for thinner. But that's another video. That's another topic for discussion for another day. There we go. Okay. We got more trees to do, so. Really is very easy to overdo the highlights. Just get carried away. I'm going to touch this up on the side here. Okay. Nice. All right. You know, I wasn't planning on it, but looks like there's some sort of a path here. So maybe we'll make one. Only problem is this fan brush is filthy. I haven't cleaned this fan brush once at all, so watch how much paint comes off. Yeah, oh, look at that. Crazy, huh? Gonna have a fun time cleaning up this mess. And even if you have paint thinner or whatever you're using as a solvent, it helps to clean your brushes. Just rub them off with like a paper towel or a shop towel or an old rag, because it conserves thinner. And you can take this moment, I'll step back, look at it. I just cleaned this brush in that thinner and it's still, yeah. That's how you know there's a lot of paint. You dip it into thinner and there's still paint on there. That's all right. We just want to get as much excess paint off as possible. And then after your painting is done, just to save time, that's when you can really clean your brushes. You can just keep dipping them in until they're absolutely clean. All right, here we go. So we'll go into the Dyke Brown. Why not? Actually, we'll put it over here because I am running out of room on the palette. This palette's huge. You can still run out of room. That's okay. Just back and forth like that. Back and forth. Turn it over. And we don't know where it goes. That's fine. I didn't even mean to do that. These things just, you know, they just sort of happen. It's pretty cool. Now just to touch it up on the bottom there, I'm going to go back into our highlight color. Actually, no, maybe I haven't used the 1-inch brush yet, so let's do that. Put white. Dip some liquid white, our highlight color. And this just makes it look more natural. There we go. And another trick you can do is you can take the point of the knife and just scratch in some twigs and branches down here. That's all I'm doing, is just scratching the canvas, scratching the paint. Make it look like weeds growing. Nothing I've told you is nothing you can't learn from, you know, watching Bob or Bill Alexander. All right. Now to finish off, how about something on this side? Maybe a different tree. How about that? Put a different type of tree there. We will take the Van Dyke Brown. We'll use all of it. And we'll make a birch tree. Just comes up like that. All I'm doing is pulling the paint off. That's all I'm doing. A little bit more. If you make trees like this with the knife, you get a lot of texture with it. And when it dries, you can literally feel the bark. Gives it a nice 3D effect, which is pretty cool. Even if you have little globs of paint, you can go the other way too. Just to drag it out, make it even. Not as fast as Bob. Now, let's get the liner brush, which fell on the floor. I'm going to dip it into some paint thinner to thin out the brown here. You want it watery like ink. Just turn it and twist it. Now we get into some detail work. Watch this. Make our little branches like that. A little bit more thinner. With these branches, you put as many or as few as you want. See, because Because this tree right here, I'm not going to put any leaves on it, but then you got the pine trees right here, and you know, everything's looking bright and colorful. So it's a mystery to even to me what season it is. As a matter of fact, I think that's what I'll call this painting. Seasonal mystery. Is it late summer? Is it spring? Who knows? Now I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight to our tree. Light's coming this way. So I'm going to take some white, some of the brown we made. Just lighten that up. Even more white, even more. Really want it to stick out. And on this side, watch. If it's coming from the right, we're going to drag from right to left. There we go. Maybe on the ground here. I have some little ones sticking out. Some big twigs that'll get as big as this guy. All right, well, I hope you've all enjoyed Seasonal Mystery. If you learned something, if you were influenced in any way to try something new this year, please like the video, subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And if you want to see all and the rest of my paintings, follow my Instagram, which should be right there. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Reach the stars and make a wish. Fall asleep and dream a dream. Never stop, just go for it. And what you see just might be